We should be good.
Okay. Was gonna say either move together or yeah, that's fine too. One of you could just knock the other one out of frame. That's fine as well, I guess. All right, so you ready? Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Board of Doom podcast. All right, so we got some shit to cover. First of all, and I need to re-reference, so we missed last week because last week there was some personal drama going on. So there's the board standings. CJ Truth still with the belt because he has his title defenses until SummerSlam. But I have moved into second place with a perfect board off of Hell in a Cell, so I'm now 1 point behind him with 20. He's got 25. I've got 24. Tiger has 23. Shez and Jesse have 22. Taryn and John have 20. And then Junior, Golden Boy, and House Show have 19. So, you know, everybody's within like 6 points or whatever, but blah, blah, blah. So if the standings, if I remember correctly, it's just whoever's in second place challenges for the belt.
I thought it was the leader of points after that pay-per-view.
Well, I think the way we had it set up was yeah, basically, but it's a title defense. So basically I put myself in a really good position. So
that's
yeah, no, that's right. The only time it's one-on-one is when somebody cashes in Money in the Bank. Yeah. So we'll have Money in the Bank in a couple of weeks. I don't think there's another AEW one that we're doing before SummerSlam, right? Because Forbidden Doors between then, we're not doing Forbidden Door.
Because we have we have the Money in the Bank's early July.
Yeah, it's like July 2nd or something. Third, yeah. So one of them two. I might be the second. They might be doing Saturday. I don't know, but it's for first weekend in July. All right. So now that that's out of the way, apparently there's a report out that Sasha Banks' lawyers are working on her release. So there was a report that came out earlier. It wasn't from Fightful. Fightful couldn't corroborate it, but they heard like mumblings of the same, but they didn't say anything because they couldn't get anything. But there was a report that came out from another reliable source who I don't remember. There's so many out there with Russell Votes and all those others that she had been released but WWE wasn't. They said not that we heard. And I was like, well, wouldn't you know? But the sources were like, not that we've heard anything. And then now there's a report. I saw it from F4W Online. Denise Salcedo did her little roundup report, and it said that apparently her lawyers are working on getting her released. No word on Naomi. So I don't think Naomi wants out. Sasha asked for her release back in 2019. So like she's got a history of wanting out. So
whatever.
I mean,
it always hurts. So who cares?
She's been if this was like 2017 or 2018, I would be like, this is gonna hurt. But Sasha has been in and out of storylines and in and out of activity so much over the last couple of years that I'm not necessarily sure it hurts. Their women's division is still pretty deep. They just don't use them right.
They just don't care.
Yeah, but they've got enough to cover, and I don't think she's right now. Losing her isn't quite the big deal as it would have been, say, 2 years ago. Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say honestly, like minus like submissions or whatever, you have your current Sasha Banks and Liv Morgan, like the smaller person who everybody roots for. Like, well, at least when Sasha was a face, and then if you want to do the other side, you just have Alexa for the heel. It's still just same like build as Sasha. The smaller, more athletic.
Just on a quick aside, think about the talent from the female division, women's division, sorry, that they've released over the last X amount of time, like Nixon Newell got rid of her, Dakota Kai, or whatever she's going by now.
People, but
yeah. But I'm just saying, it's like, you know, Tony Storm, you know, that, I mean, granted, they didn't just release her, she quit, but still, but like, yeah, but the, you know, just talent that they've had recently, and that's just kind of scratching the surface. There are others that, you know, but whatever. Okay, so the other big story that hit, Vinnie Mac's in a bit of trouble, isn't he? So again, the this is all with the allegedly, but the story, I mean, the reports are out there, you can go look at it, but in, you know, TLDR, they hired a paralegal back in 2019, $100,000 salary. Vince began an affair with her, allegedly. And then she got a raise to like double her salary. And then apparently Vince was sharing her like a toy, they said in the article, with John Laurinaitis, who's going to end up taking the fall for all of this. He's going to be the one that gets fired. And I don't think the backstage is going to care.
Probably not.
They weren't happy he got rehired.
Right.
So because he still looks at, like, you know, hiring women's division, you know, like talent as, you know, just, you know, looking through the Victoria's Secret catalog, you know. So, but she resigned, or she quit in like the beginning of this year, and ended up with a $3 million payout that came out of Vince's pocket as hush money. And now it's starting to make sense why, I don't know, Stephanie McMahon suddenly took some time off, you know, because she would have known these out, because they've been investigating this since April. She would have known about it.
Yeah.
You know, so I think there's some strategic distancing going on right now, because they knew that this was coming.
Right.
It's not, for me, it's not going to affect anything as far as, like, you know, the shows and whatnot. I mean, like, I'm still going to watch, you know, because I watch for the talent. I don't watch for the backstage, you know, so, you know, and hopefully maybe, I don't know, you know, if somebody else is calling the shots for a while, even if Vince just steps away for a little while to let this blow over, I don't know. Maybe
Product might be good.
Yeah, maybe the shows will be more organized. They'll actually have a main event planned before 8 p.m. on a Monday.
Yeah, right.
You know, so maybe the writers will actually get some of their ideas through. But yeah, so thoughts?
No, that's it. Just maybe the product will be better.
Yeah, I mean,
like, it
yes
doesn't.
and no.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't, like, you know, this doesn't surprise me one bit, unfortunately.
No, well, there have been whispers of this kind of stuff for years.
Yeah.
You know, but this one, like, you know, this is one of those like powder keg type things where, yeah, it's not looking good for he'll probably not have to
deal with it.
Well, he'll probably not have to resign. I mean, he owns the company.
Yeah, right.
You know, the board of directors can only do so much to it. So, but
you can't fire Jeff Bezos from Amazon.
Right.
Like,
I'm just, even though he left Amazon already. Yeah. I get your point. You can't fire Elon Musk from apparently Twitter. But the other part of this is that if something were to happen with Vince and he does step away, Nick Khan's in charge.
Yeah, which it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think that's going to make anything better.
Well, I mean, who knows? He's got like the whole business thing, but he may have a completely different idea of like how, you know, like the
He'll
show.
Probably bring somebody on, honestly, like a head booker or whatever. That's what I would do if I was him.
I'd bring Triple H back.
Well, right, but that's
like that's who I would make the head booker. Like I would make him the head of creative or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And actually use them like they're supposed to be. Like, you know, head of talent relations, you know, he's in charge of, you know, the talent. Like, or if you're the head of, you know, the head booker or the head producer, you should be, you know, making decisions for the matches, not just, that's a good idea, change it.
Yeah, love it, but not for tonight.
Love it. Just maybe 6 years later.
No one's allowed to have a 2-word name.
Yeah, and that crap. Like maybe that'll stop.
All the extra letters from their names we're going to give to Seth Rollins and just start adding nicknames.
Did they establish themselves on the indies and this is the name that we can bring it? No.
Well, see, here's
Ace Austin. His name is now Jack Rabbit Flip Flap.
Yeah. And here's the thing: it's like, was he Austin Theory on the indies?
Probably.
Or was he something else and he took Oz? Because here's the thing: is like they've been changing names of because like Raquel. That wasn't what she went on in the indies. She changed that when she went to NXT, and then when they called her up, they changed it again. It's like, I don't get it. It's like you already gave him a name. Like Walter, I get, but no, it's just nuts.
No, yeah, he's always been Austin Theory.
No, has he? All right, I wasn't sure about him.
But like Austin White, but he's always been Austin Theory. Like all of his build names are Austin Theory and now Theory. So,
but I guarantee you, they would be like LA Knight,
like Max Dupree. Yeah, he was the
Like, what was wrong with LA Knight? I mean, it was a stupid name to begin with.
Well, you can't have the manly sexiness Max Dupree models.
I guess.
Masculinity manly Max models. Or whatever the hell they're calling themselves.
He could have just called it. He could have just like renamed it, like because going with the LA Knight thing. It's like, okay, well, you're Lancelot, you're Merlin, you're or something stupid like that. It sounds like something they do. I
guess.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's that. There's that. I'm trying to think. There was. Oh yeah. Had a bit of a change to the main event of Dynamite last night, where instead of a triple threat tag team ladder match, you had just a regular tag team ladder match.
It was supposed to be a triple threat.
Yeah, the Hardys were supposed to be in it.
That's right.
Yeah, but apparently, first of all, like, okay, it goes without saying that obviously nobody wants anything bad to happen to Jeff. Everybody just wants him to get healthy, get better. Yeah. But there's got to come a time where you need to realize he might not want to get better, or regular getting better steps aren't working.
Right.
So
it seems like he's fine for a little bit, unless if he's just good at hiding it now.
Well, there was a report that he got pretty drunk over WrestleMania weekend. Now there was no AEW stuff going on that I recall. I mean, they might have run like a house show or something, but
they probably did. No, they 100% did, because everybody.
But it's not like he showed up to like Bound for Glory, But when you start hearing that, you start seeing that, like, because like people went after Rebby and Matt, and they're like,
they're still doing it.
Tucked him in. Like, I think Rebby's comment was, short of like making him sleep between us, there was nothing else we could do. We got him to his hotel room. He was in, and he was in for quite a while. And we went home, and he was supposed to like drive wherever the next day, but apparently he decided to go for a walk, before he left. And and first of all, and Ollie from Russell Talk brought up a good point. How is he getting rental cars?
Yeah, right.
And that's like, with people saying, it's like, well, how did AEW let this happen? Well, AEW probably assumed that he was getting a taxi or getting on a plane or something, or someone was driving him. They might not have known that he's been renting cars in his name, and like Hertz or whoever the rental car. No, I'm not going to throw Hertz on us, but whoever it is, needs to brush up on their background checks on those things.
Yeah, because he drove with a suspended license.
He's got a suspended license. Yeah,
he shouldn't have been able to even rep.
Yeah, and it's just like, how does this keep? So there's a ton of blame to go around, and I don't think any of it is Matt or Rebby. As obnoxious as I find Rebby on social media, she's also sometimes kind of funny, but she gets on my nerves more often than not. But I'm on her side with this. Like, call it what it is. He went out of his way to go behind their back and and misbehave, so to speak. I mean,
Yeah.
a grown man misbehaving, but still, you know, it's one of those things where yes, it's, and I don't really care where you fall on the whether or not addiction is a disease kind of thing. You know, that's because that everybody's a little bit different with that, but but what once you, especially if you've got an addictive personality, and he's, you know, he's obviously, you know, got the whole like the thrill rush. He's like chasing the dragon, so to speak, in the ring. And then when that kind of goes away, you kind of have to look for the thrill elsewhere. That's probably what's happening. So you could blame Tony Khan a little bit for putting him in those kinds of matches where now he's in pain, you know, more than he would be normally, you know, just wrestling a regular tag match. It's like, okay, we'll let him jump off the top of the arena, you know, on his second match, you know, or whatever. You know, that's probably not the best idea. But at the same time, Tony Khan's like, well, this guy's been clean for how long? Matt's been vouching for him. You know, he has shown absolutely nothing. He's more than willing to do these. In fact, he's asking to or something, you know, could be like that. So I don't necessarily think that Tony Khan was encouraging that kind of thing, but he certainly wasn't like pumping the brakes on it. So I don't think we're going to see Jeff in AEW for quite a while. I don't think we're going to see Jeff in the ring for probably a year.
I think he's retired. I think he needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing is it messes up. They were supposed to have a match at Triple Mania too, so you know with that one Matt's still doing it, but they're just giving him a new tag partner. I forget who it was. So I don't know enough about like, you know, any of the south of the border leagues to
because this was supposed to be the last run. If he's stalled, then it needs just done. It's over. There you go. Good luck. Have fun. You got to win over the Young Bucks. That was your swan song.
Yeah, and you know what? If that's the last thing we get from Jeff Hardy,
right?
I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, it sucks, and you can't even say that it was like, you know, like a wasted career or wasted talent, because he was in and out, but he kept coming back, you know. So I mean, sure, maybe he could have had, you know, accomplished more, but you know, I don't know.
I mean, he was WWE champ.
Yeah.
He was Impact champ.
Yeah.
And like 17,000 time tag champ across the entire, United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you know, he's had a full career.
He's had mid-card titles too. Like, he did pretty much everything he could do.
Yeah, and the last thing, just to kind of go with the whole like kind of career in question thing, but we're kind of going the other way, is so Paige comes out, was Soraya Beavis.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
Ronnie Radke's wife comes out and says that, you know, her last day with WWE is on like July 7th or whatever. And so it added some speculation. She admitted it wasn't her decision, but she did say, it's like, look, they weren't using me. I'm grateful that they kept me on the payroll for as long as they did, you know, and in case, you know, they needed me for anything, you know, I was always there. But it sounds like Booker T said on his podcast that he says she's going to be in the ring sooner rather than later. He wasn't endorsing it because, you know, he's like, you know, if they brought up a good point. I don't know if it was he brought up the point or I think Russell talked when they were talking about it, or it might have been called Holic, that she, you know, there's a reason WWE doctors didn't clear her. So if you can't get cleared by WWE's doctor, anybody else hiring you, it's a bit of a liability because you're obviously not well enough to wrestle. You're not healthy enough to wrestle. Now, she could be going to get a second opinion and she could be working on it to see it. So she may be planning an in-ring comeback because she's still young enough to make a huge impact, because she was the best thing, you know, one of the best things in the company from like what, 20, what was that? 20, it wasn't 2012. What was it, about like 2015, 2016?
Like
14. When did we go to Extreme Rules?
Like, dude, that was like, which one?
The first one.
2014.
Okay, so yeah, so around 2014, that neck of the woods, like, for quite a few years, she was one of the best things in the company because it was that whole anti diva thing, and kind of she in a way she kind of, I'm not gonna say she started the women's revolution WWE, but she really pushed it forward a lot faster than I think anybody was anticipating it. So I would love to see her get healthy, get back in the ring, but
she retired in 2018. So.
Yeah. So, like, not every neck injury is the same. Like, all the people going after her saying, well, Bryan Danielson did it, Edge did it.
That was what was happening with Tyson Kidd, too. It's like, well, where are you? These guys came back. It's like, oh, dead. Like, what? I can't do it.
Yeah. Not everybody's is the same. It's like,
it took 19 years for Stone Cold.
Yeah, you can't compare. Yeah. Although Stone Cold was, like, perfectly happy never doing it again for a long time.
Right.
But with who was the other one? Like with Big E, you can't even compare Big E's injury with theirs because every neck injury is different and everybody heals different. Just because even if you break the same vertebrae,
right,
it's still different for everybody.
It took Edge 9 years.
Yeah.
So if we're doing that, we ain't seeing Paige. If you want to compare it, we ain't seeing Paige again until what?
Well, it like took it took 9 years for the medical capabilities to catch up to Edge's injury. So, and Bryan Danielson didn't break his neck.
His was just a lot of concussions.
His was concussions and stuff, but I mean, it was similar in the treatment. But that doesn't mean the Paige's is going to be the same, or Tyson Kidd,
Samoa Joe took Tyson Kidd's spine with him, and just
like Sub-Zero'd him.
Yeah, he's like, his spine's gone.
but yeah, so is what it is. I guess there was something else I had just thought of that I was like, hey, there was something else I want to talk about, but I don't remember what it was now. So, yeah, I don't really necessarily feel the need to go show by show. I mean, I'm kind of excited for Will Ospreay, first of all, just being on American television.
Yep.
That's great. Oh, by the way, coincidentally enough, Blair Davenport came back to NXT UK today.
Yeah, coincidentally.
Yeah. But because they're not an item anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've been broken up for a while. They just did it on the down low.
Well, good for them.
So, I guess maybe she was harboring resentment for that RKO.
Yeah, right.
But no, that was such a great moment. She was awesome for allowing that to be a moment because it really sold him as a heel, and how he would do anything to get that. But yeah, so I think we're gonna get the triple threat between Jay White, not Okada, Hangman Page, and Adam Cole. I think that's going to be a triple threat.
It's either that or it's a complete swerve.
Maybe.
If Omega's healthy, it makes so much sense for it to be.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Kenny's a possibility too. That would be great. But then what do you do with Hangman and Cole then?
Well, you have an AEW match already on that thing. I think there's just like a standard AEW one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, but what are they fighting for? The number one contender?
Yeah, for the interim championship
for that. Okay, all right. I was still thinking IWGP.
No, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But if Kenny comes back and wins it, then I think they're just going to redo the Kenny belt collector thing. Just continue where they picked off, basically.
See, IWGP does New Japan doesn't like hot-shotting their belts around like that.
No, but you could have Kenny hold it for a while since you have.
Yeah, but they just put it on Jay White, so I think it's more likely Jay White would go over.
Right, I guess unless if like what you said the one time, if Jay White's just a transition because it was supposed to be Okada, it was supposed to be, and they're gonna have the AEW guy win.
What I would love to see though is, okay, let's say you're putting Kenny over. Well, you've got Switchblade's part, like he's the leader of the Bullet Club now.
Yeah.
Who did they recently kick out of the Bullet Club?
I don't know.
Somebody who apparently holds a grudge. OG Bullet Club. They kicked out Tama Tonga.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So I would love to see him like show
too?
back up. What?
Like completely? Didn't they kick out the GOD completely too?
Yeah, probably. But I mean, the one I'm worried about is Tama Tonga because he just looks like the kind of guy that would just randomly rip the head off a small child walking down the street.
This is true.
Like that scene from the remake of Galactica where she just breaks the baby's neck. Yeah, that's him. Like just because it's like, oh, you were wearing a shirt that was somebody the Bullet Club was feuding with, But in real life, he's probably like a super sweetheart. But whatever. But but yeah, I guess the other thing of note coming out of that show, besides Orange Cassidy, I didn't really touch on. I just was talking about Ospreay, but I like the idea. Like Orange Cassidy versus Ospreay is like low key awesome.
Yeah, that should be really good.
But I'm trying to think of like what else is even on the show that's super interesting.
They have like Jericho, Guevara, and some New Japan guy versus two New Japan people in Kingston.
That's going to be a huge match, probably. It's going to be a lot of fun, but I don't care about, like, I care less about the Jericho Appreciation Society now that Sammy's in it.
It was Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm's the only AEW match. So they're probably going to have something with just New Japan. Well, that's fair because the New Japan doesn't have any women.
Right, they have a separate company for there.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so like, although seeing an AEW Stardom crossover, like Forbidden Door type scenario, that would be interesting too.
But that's a whole different. They would have had to have already had that established and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm just like down the line.
No, they need it. They need the help.
Yeah. Well, they got plenty of talent. They just don't use it. Like again, Jamie Hayter was just there sitting there, but I'm just saying, like, she's just getting run away from the ring by Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
They're in their match. First of all, let's talk about Tony Storm just absolutely just beat Britt Baker.
Yeah, that was
straight up won.
Yeah,
like the baby face is kind of always traditionally supposed to win fairly and clean, but but yeah, that was weird because like Britt Baker is just sliding down. Like I almost hope that is part of a storyline where we're seeing Britt Baker's descent,
right.
and it becomes a thing.
It also could just be she's about to go take some time away because she.
Yeah, and they've got, like I said, they've got plenty of women on the roster.
Yeah, you don't need
just never see
there right now.
You don't see them unless you're watching YouTube
really?
Because they're always on dark.
Britt Baker shouldn't just be hanging around anyway. If you're going to use her towards the top, but if you're not going to use her, you need to take her away for a little bit for with something.
Yeah, I mean, you could put her in a mid card feud, but I keep her away from Jade Cargill. Like, yeah. I don't want her in that scene at all.
Yeah, because if she's there, that's just beating the streak. Like, there ain't.
Right. Well, there's that, and plus, like, you're deep. I don't want to make it. It's a mid card title.
Yeah, even though they tried to tell you it wasn't.
Right. But so you're devaluing Britt Baker because, like, too quickly. Like, if you want to take someone from the top of the card, put them in mid card to bump up your mid card, fine. But that is like she just fell down 2 flights of stairs, kind of like drop.
Yeah.
Whereas you kind of want to slowly move those people down while you slowly move someone up. But if you want to put her in a mid card feud, just have her fighting with Chris Statlander or something. Or somebody who's in that mid card. Although I think Chris Statlander's about due for a shot at, because she's been around long enough. Yeah. So, but yeah, so and once again, nothing happened on WWE TV.
Nope,
absolutely nothing. I mean, Cody's out. He had surgery. We'll see him at the Rumble.
I mean, Gunther.
Yeah, Gunther ended the streak of irrelevancy hopefully for the Intercontinental title, or Ricochet.
No, he did not. No, he did not. That's still never gonna matter.
Well, see, I'm hoping that
unless Vince gets kicked out of WWE, then it's not gonna matter.
With the world title not being on TV ever, it's that whole Brock Lesnar thing again.
Getting annoying.
If you're gonna elevate your mid-card titles to make them feel more important, I think that's why they put the belt on Gunther. They love Gunther. Mm-hmm. And so they put the belt on him because now they have a dominant heel with the title for babyfaces to chase after, and you can develop your talent that way. And they already done it with Austin Theory. Sorry,
Theory's on Raw, and they're doing the same thing. They're using the U.S. title to push him because they made Roman a part-timer, even though they said that's not what they were doing.
Right. Well, they weren't going to, and then he signed that new deal. So
that's dumb. I just get the belts off him then if he's not going to be there.
Well, it's not going to happen right now because you know he's not losing the title to Riddle.
I know that's a big swerve.
Yeah, true, but the rumor, well, yeah, because the rumor is that they're going to put the belt on Randy.
I'll say, and Randy might be out the rest of the year. Cody's gone for 9 months.
Yeah.
There's your entire talent pool. Like, you just lost them due to surgery.
But they're already, well, yeah, I guess if you just see, here's the thing is that if Riddle loses, he's banned from SmackDown.
Oh, cool.
Right? Or he can't challenge for the title again. But did they specify the Universal title? Or the world title, or either?
It's probably because it's unified. It's both. Just
okay. So, but then again, you've got a perfectly good Bobby Lashley sitting there. You've got, excuse me, you've got a perfectly good Fiend about to come back. You've got a perfectly good Seth Rollins. You know, you've got a lot.
You don't have perfectly good Seth Rollins because all you did was make him lose and lose and lose and lose and look stupid. He's got to do something. And I know it shouldn't have hurt him, but like, dude, he lost 3 times in a row. And he's lost to you at foreign.
I don't think it did because it did more to make Cody look heroic than it did to damage Seth.
Who kicked out of a curb stomp, who's nobody's kicked out of in a while, so except Brock.
I'm just saying they elevated Cody because all Seth has to do now is
beat the third one.
All he needs to do is beat like Drew McIntyre or somebody like that they don't wrestle on the same show, but you know, there's somebody who's near the top but not at the top at the moment, and you beat him with a curb stomp, and then the curb stomp's back. You know, they had somebody kick out of the End of Days, and then you know he wins with the End of Days, and it's back. You know, that's, you know, it is what it is. Not every finisher is the one-winged angel.
I was gonna say, but it's good if you make it that way.
Yeah. I mean,
just have him dodge it or something. I don't know. Like you shouldn't have done it in the Hell in a Cell match. Use the rope or something.
Yeah. So
you can have a rope break in a Hell in a Cell match. Do it all the damn time.
No, they actually followed the rules this time.
Wow.
You know, the rules they made up. But yeah, so yeah, that's basically it. That's all I got because you know I kind of wanted to go over some stuff. There was there was some stuff that happened, but it was not anything earth shattering other than the big news stories. I'm talking. There wasn't a whole lot going on between in the ring, other than some Forbidden Door stuff got moved forward. Yeah. But yeah, so it's just one of those. Yeah, I hate wrestling summers.
I was gonna say because you ain't gonna get really much from WWE because they don't care about anything that's not a big four. And Forbidden Door, you're gonna see a lot more next week, or some more on Rampage.
Actually, I think there was a leak on Rampage, but I don't remember what it was. Something leaked about something that happened on Rampage, but whatever. All right, so that's gonna do it for us this week. I've been Big Papa Grump. They've been them, and and once again, just eye candy.
I was gonna say, yep, top presenter out and stairs over here.
Well, hey, we can talk about Rhea Ripley.